Regina, call the meeting to order.
Good evening, I would do a motion to come out of closed session. So I'm going to do roll call. Moshe Bender,
Here.
Leah Jackson,
Here.
Moshe Newhouse, Moshe Rasick,
Here.
Gilberto Rodriguez,
Here.
Isaac Slotkin, Ada Gonzalez,
Here.
Barry Allen.
Here.
We're going to go into the next segment of the board meeting is to interview candidates eligible to fill board vacancy.
We did it at 6:30.
At 6:30.
We opened the meeting at 6:30.
The first candidate that we're going to call is Shanina Nakdalin. Have I pronounced that correctly?
Okay. Okay, please tell us about yourself and why you want to be in the board of the weekend. Can you speak to the mic? Yes.
Say your name, please.
Hanina Nakdiman. If you want to take away the C, it's Hanina.
My apologies.
It's okay. Anyway, I feel like I have a good background in education. I've been teaching for 5 years now, in different capacities. I have a degree in special education and general education, master's, political science, BA from Rutgers. I feel like I could be an asset to the Board of Education.
Anybody has a question?
How many years have you lived in Lakewood?
26.
You're a current special ed educator right now?
Currently, yes.
Special educator where, in Lakewood?
Right now I'm in Brooklyn, but tomorrow's my last day. Next year I'll be working in Lakewood.
And we can't have people, please. Any other questions from the board members? You feel that you'd be available to attend all meetings of the board and participate actively?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Concludes.
That's it?
Thank you. The next individual is,
Yes, the next individual is Betsy Trecia.
Please tell about yourself, name. please.
Hi, my name is Betsy Tricer. I've been living in Lakewood for the past 8 years. As a young adult, I had started off my career in the summer camps, educating the young children, providing them with the summer activities to be productive, and a summer of fun and a summer of growth. After getting married, I settled down. After studying for a few years here, I joined in the special ed as a group home manager at the Special Children's Center. My career took me to then becoming the director of the group homes, and we had quite a spurt of growth of the group homes, providing to the children of the community in ways of providing for them for their exceptional growth, that they could grow to their fullest potential. I look at the Board of Education, following what they've been doing, and realizing that they're here for the future growth of our children, and be an honor and privilege to be able to join such a board.
Anybody have questions?
What will you be providing for the board that you feel is not already here?
I think that I have a fresh outlook. Of course, I'm available to attend all board meetings, and I think that being able to join in this movement of helping the future of our children and growth is something that I'd be dedicated and something that I'd be proud to be part of.
Anybody else? Mr. President, you can see.
So the Board of Education has the right under the law and under our policy to go into closed session if it wants to discuss the qualifications of each of the candidates and come out and vote, or the board can simply make a motion at this point based on presentations of the two candidates. It's up to the Board of Education what it wants to do at this point.
And we should move forward. With the vote.
So if somebody would like to move a particular candidate, make a motion to move whoever you're interested in, and we'll do a roll call based on that candidate. If that candidate gets a majority of the board members, that person will be the candidate who will fill the vacancy through the board's organization meeting in January of 2018. That seat will be on the ballot in November. So this term really is from now, basically until the end of this calendar year, and the seat will be up on November ballot.
I'll make a motion to move to appoint Mr. Dreiser. Dreiser, sir.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Roll call.
Okay, roll call. Moshe Bender,
Yes.
Thea Jackson,
Yes.
Moshe Newhouse,
Yes.
Moshe Ritzik,
Yes.
Gilberto Rodriguez, Isaac Slackman,
Yes.
Ada Gonzalez,
Yes.
Barry Allen.
Yes.
Motion to select Betsy Schweitzer to the board candidacy position.
Thank you. We will swear you in before the next Board of Education meeting.
We're gonna do the swearing in at this time.
Ms. Robinson actually brought the materials with her, so she can do the swearing in right now.
Thank you, Mr. Natiman, for applying. Thank you for coming, thank you.
Swear in the new board member now.
Okay, I'm gonna do, Mr. Schweitzer, you'll repeat after me. I, Betsy Schweitzer, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear the true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and this state under the authority of the people, so help me God. I, Betsy Schweitzer, do solemnly swear or affirm that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law for the office of member of the Board of Education. I am not disqualified as a voter pursuant to RS 19:4-1, and I am not disqualified due to a conviction of a crime or offense listed in NJSA 18A 12-1, and I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties at the office of the best of my ability, so help us God. Congratulations.
we move on to the presentations, Ms. Winters?
At this time, I would like to introduce Mrs. Palantonio, who will be honoring students with the seal of biliteracy certificates. Mrs. Palantonio.
Good evening and thank you. I'm excited to be here tonight to have the honor of recognizing the Lakewood High School students who have demonstrated dual language proficiency and will earn the New Jersey State Seal of Biliteracy upon graduation. Before we recognize the students, I'd like to introduce their teacher, Mrs. Maria Velez, who has worked hard to challenge and prepare these students for their proficiency assessments. She's going to speak briefly about the Seal of Biliteracy.
Good evening. So in order to achieve the seal, the students had to demonstrate mastery in 2 languages in the areas of listening, speaking, reading, and writing based on national criteria. These students have been working towards this achievement for the past 3 or 4 years through their rigorous academic coursework in the Spanish for Native Speakers program. Lo voy a leer en español. Para lograr el sello, los estudiantes debían demostrar dominio en 2 idiomas en las áreas de escuchar, hablar, leer y escribir, basándose en los requisitos nacionales. Estos estudiantes han estado trabajando hacia este logro por los últimos 3 o 4 años a través de sus inmensos esfuerzos en el programa de español para hispanohablantes. Me gustaría invitar a Ms. Laura para darle los certificados a los estudiantes. Diego Galindo. Wilfredo Flores. Dania Amaro. Jafet Campoyo. Jacqueline Hernandez. Jasmine Lopez. Jennifer Hernandez.
So while I'm here, I'm going to provide a brief overview of the Cycle 1 data of violence and vandalism for this school year, including a comparison of the first year violence and vandalism data cycles for 3 consecutive years. So here are the categories under which incidents of violence and vandalism are reported, and the number of incidents for each, as well as the unduplicated titles at the bottom. As you can see, the categories are violence, vandalism, weapons, substance abuse, and HIB. You can also see that when you add up the 16-17 categories, the sum should be 48. So I'll explain what an unduplicated total is. Because certain incidents fall under more than one category, they are counted separately in each category, but they are only counted once in the unduplicated total. Therefore, when you add up all the categories, you do not necessarily get the number at the bottom. There have been no incidents of vandalism resulting in cost to the district during this 3-year period. This slide shows the disciplinary actions that have been taken in response to the incidents of vandalism and violence. Offender information. This slide shows a breakdown of offender information with a notable decrease in the number of offenders from the 15-16 to 16-17 school year. And finally, the victim information. This is the breakdown for victims, again, with a noticeable decrease from 15-16 to this year. On a final note, the district is required to report this information to the State Department of Education, who in turn reports to the federal government. If anyone is interested in more information, you can visit the New Jersey Department of Education website under Violence, Vandalism, and Substance Abuse in New Jersey Schools. Thank you.
Tonight we have a football presentation. At this time, I would like to introduce the athletic director, Mr. Thomas Stead, the football coach, Elbert Clark, coach Kyle Watson, coach Evan Bottles, and any football players present, if they could come up to the podium.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Coach Clark. I'm currently the head football coach at Lakewood High School. I've been coaching in the district for 12 years. I also coach baseball and basketball. I graduated Lakewood in class of 1999. Our football program at Lakewood High School has been very successful in the past season. We have placed numerous student athletes in college due to hard work of our coaches, our athletes, our teachers, administrators, and guidance counselors. We currently have several student athletes attending four-year schools that would not have been able to afford these schools without participating in football and other athletic programs we've had at Lakewood High School. To ensure a thorough and efficient education for our Lakewood student athletes, we need athletics to serve as a means of getting our kids into college and also showing them discipline and structure. We have several future scholarship athletes in our program this upcoming year that will not have the opportunity to get there without athletics. Therefore, we need the state to provide us with an opportunity to further our education through athletics and help these student athletes reach their potential at the next level. Thank you for your time.
Hello? Yes, better. I'm going to go into the next section. Motion to accept the public meeting minutes from April 26th and May 8th.
Motion.
Second? Second. Roll call. Moshi Bender?
Yes.
Thea Jackson?
Yes.
Moshi Newhouse?
Yes.
Moshi Racick?
Yes.
Gilberto Rodriguez?
Yes.
Isaac Slackman? Ada Gonzalez? Barry Allen?
Yes.
Motion to accept the special meeting minutes from May 30th and June 14th.
Motion.
Second. We'll do roll call. Moshi Bender?
Yes.
Thea Jackson,
Yes.
Moshe Newhouse.
Yes.
Moshe Raisin,
Yes.
Gilberto Rodriguez.
Yes.
Isaac Slackman. Ada Gonzalez. Barry Ein.
Yes.
On to the next section of the board meeting is committee reports. Does the board have any committee reports for tonight? Mr.
We have a,
Yes. Good evening, everyone. On June the 5th, we actually had an audited, special ed audit report that was done. The process, how they went about it, they had initial meetings, so, the company, they interviewed the superintendent, the state monitor, special education, administrators, special education attorneys, Lakewood Teacher Association officers. They also did interviews with classroom teachers, child study members, building principals, state monitors, and other district administration. They also did classroom observations, and they reviewed evaluation timelines and reports and documents. When I tell you it was very eye-opening to see the things that they discovered, of course, they gave Lakewood its props on what was working. The leadership team, the teaching staff, the child study teams, the building level support in the preschool, but they also gave, not only did they give things that they found, but they gave some recommendations on how we can improve. So I do feel confident that in September, the special ed committee and along with the building administration, we take some of those things into consideration. It was actually pretty good, but it's definitely some things that we definitely need to work on in the district. So I do know in September that we will go through, we'll be able to definitely hit the ground running, but there's definitely some things that we need to fix in Lakewood. Thank you. As far as the special ed department is concerned.
thank you.
We're gonna move into David Shafer.
Good evening. I thought that we would be approving a budget tonight, but once again, there is not a budget to approve. We still have that $1.6 million gap, which includes the athletic program, literature guidance, and libraries. Myself, and the state, we're in conversations with the state legislature, local community members to try and find a solution. And as soon as a solution is found, we will definitely report to everybody so they know what's going to happen. But no news as of yet.
Thank you, Mr. Shafer. We will now open the floor to public comment.
Okay, we're going to do the public participation portion of the meeting right now. Just a reminder to everybody, we give 3 minutes per speaker. First speaker on the list is Michelle Jackson.
After last week's board meeting, I decided to do some of my own research. According to an article dated June 11, 2017 on NewJersey.com, the Lakewood Public School District pays $1.8 million per month to SHI for non-public Lakewood residents. Another 30 non-public Lakewood residents go to the Orthodox-run Special Children's Center at a cost of $55,000 per child. The district contracts 3 agencies to do special need referrals: Psych Ed in Bergen County, Catapult out of New York, and On Track. On Track Resources was created in 2008 by 2 Orthodox women, Sharon Kleinband and Shulamit Tropper. The private schools are given a choice of which of these 3 they would like to use for their evaluations. Would it surprise anyone to find out that 95% of the evaluations in this district are performed by On Track Resources? This can't be a coincidence. This year, the school year, we paid roughly $15 million to bus private Orthodox school children on segregated buses, according to an article dated May 27, 2017 in the Asbury Park Press. On a daily basis in Lakewood, we see interaction between Orthodox boys and girls, and there's no way you can tell me that they're all related. Whether they're riding in the same cars, pulled over to pick up the boys hitchhiking, or playing in the same parks on the same swing sets. And last I checked, there is no segregated jumping at Sky Zone. So I ask again, knowing the board will not answer me, why is this being allowed? Forgive me if I don't pronounce this right. Your Haredi tradition, I don't know, I guarantee I didn't pronounce it right, but that's your tradition of segregated busing. That is not the law in the state of New Jersey. Yes. Public money may not be used for any purpose that violates our state laws or constitution. Segregation is illegal. Yes. Segregated busing is discriminatory, and discrimination violates New Jersey state law. Yes. Public monies may not be used to purchase religious teaching materials. This includes buying materials online and having them shipped to multiple locations out of state. If public funds are being sent to private schools, shouldn't the schools be accredited and follow the New Jersey teaching laws that we have to follow? Yes. Hold on, cut me off. To the board's decision to rehire Michael Inzelbach. If this man genuinely had the best interest of the public school kids at heart, he would have called a meeting with the public school parents to find out how we felt about him taking our kids to Trenton, but he didn't. He just needed the faces of our public school children for the $8.5 million advance. And 2 days after our kids went to Trenton and received the advance, the private Orthodox schools decided they were entitled to more Title I funds. Our children were used, we know it, they know it, and this school board knows it. Half the board benefits while the other half does absolutely nothing for fear of being called anti-Semitic and or being sued. Sued by the very same man y'all just voted to be back on the school board. How's that for ironic?
That's it, time is up, thank you. Mr. Shaffer.
I'd like to respond to some of the comments that were just stated.
Can you speak up, Mr. Shaffer? It's very hard to
Okay,
hear.
I'd like to respond. There are no non-public school students sent to SHI. Point number one, all students sent to SHI by this school district are public school students.
Thank you, Mr. Shaffer.
Number two, you may not agree, but that's the fact. And I have no allegiance to this Board of Education, but I want to state the facts. Number two, as far as the transportation of the non-public school students, the Lakewood School District is required to follow the laws of the state legislature. The current law is that for each non-public school student, we give the Lakewood Transportation Authority $848. It is the authority's responsibility to transport the students. The Lakewood Public School District has no authority to tell the Lakewood Student Transportation Authority who to transport, who not to transport, or how to transport. That's number two. Number three, non-public funds, textbooks, etc. Only non-public schools that are registered with the state of New Jersey are allowed to receive non-public technology, non-public textbooks, non-public security, etc. That's the law, and the school district does follow the law, and I make sure they do that.
Through the chair.
Ma'am, you don't have a right to disrupt this meeting, please.
Through the chair, Mr. Shafter, thank you very much for pointing it out. I just wanted, the first time
No, you don't. We're going to ask that you be removed if you continue to do so.
The first time I heard that non-public students go to SHI, I was appalled. There's not one non-public student go there. All the children are public school students. They're registered in the public school. We have many, one could say, we have many children from the Orthodox community who attend public school at all our public schools, and they are public students. No different, just because they may look different, no one has a right to take away from them that they are public school children and have the rights of the public school children.
Mr. Stillwell. Mr. Mr. Stillwell, these people are disrupting this meeting. I'd ask that you, yeah, you're security as well, aren't you? Sir, these people don't have a right to disrupt this meeting, and I'm gonna ask that they continue to do so, that you're removed from the meeting. Okay, next speaker, Destiny Jackson. Oh, sorry, I apologize, Ms. Shaw.
Good evening. My name is Kimberly Shaw, very proud president of the Lakewood Education Association. My comments will be brief this evening, as I've already spoken at 2 previous board meetings where I've expressed to you the important responsibility the Board of Education has to provide a thorough and efficient education to the students of the Lakewood Public Schools. At this time, their education is in serious jeopardy as the approximate 140 RIF staff members, as well as very important extracurricular programs, have still not been reinstated. The longer that this budget crisis continues, the less likely the district will be able to provide a thorough and efficient education, as many of our fantastic staff members are already planning on leaving for more stable districts. I once again implore you to reinstate all staff and programs previously cut so that you can fulfill your promise to the students of the Lakewood Public Schools. Thank you.
Destiny Jackson.
I'm currently a junior at Lakewood High School, and I'm a part of the varsity softball team. Softball has to be the biggest part in my life. I've played for 5 years, and it's the best thing in the world. In the upcoming school year, I'll be a senior. Senior year means scholarship year. But now that there's no sports, it's become the year of sacrifice. But not only is our sports in danger, it's our teachers. I went to Clifton during elementary school, and it was amazing. All of my teachers have made a positive impact in my life, but now that they might be gone, where is the positivity supposed to come? Not only am I here for myself and my schools, but I'm here for my 2 godbrothers, one who just graduated kindergarten this morning, and one going to 2nd grade. The year of sacrifice is the year of trying to make things better for them so they don't have to suffer the way we did. I currently got a dedication award for softball, and that could have been my ticket to a future. But what am I supposed to do now?
Go to their school and play sports.
With no sports comes no scholarship. With no scholarship means no future. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry about that. I'll read that.
My name is Harun Ibn Hakim Abdul Salam. I'm opening a school at 133 MLK. My niece is a Muslim like me, and she looks like me. And the people that I hear back there look like me. I heard the concerns last meeting. I hear the concerns again today. There was a person appointed to the school. I never knew that there was an appointment that was going to be. Why isn't it an opportunity for other people who look like me that have the opportunity to sit up there with you? From what I understand, there can only be 3 of you. It's okay with me. Because the people that don't plan to fail. And I'm telling my people that we got to get on a plan and we got to get on a mission. Now, let me call it down. From Rabbi Grossman, Asha Eisman, to Sanders, to Rabbi Nunes, to Edelman, to all of those rabbis that are out there that know me, Sadiq Aaron. Something is definitely wrong here in Lakewood. When you say that you're going to take something from the children that look like me, it is a wrongdoing. And I'm saying that there's only one thing that you can tell me that you can do, is work for our children, not just for your children. I'm holding each one of you accountable. I'm watching you. I'm here and I'm coming. Now, another thing that must be very important. I read an article today about Shy, and I heard a lot come up from up there. My niece goes to Shy. She's a Muslim. She looks like me. And there's no reason that you have to know that she's there, because it's nobody's business. This is a child that's autistic, that cannot speak for herself. And just like the other children that are there, they need an opportunity. Stop knocking that school that I've raised over $600,000 for. Because that school has people that work there that look like me. And we're hardworking, and we believe in our institution. So I'm saying to you, and you, something has to change on this level. This level is something corrupt. It stinks. And I'm saddened right here, man. Why should I be saddened by watching what y'all doing to our children? Am I saddened about what happens to you? L'chaim! Am I saddened to what happens to the Yidden? So I'm saying to you, please, look out for my babies who look like me. Because if you don't, like I said, people who don't plan to fail, but my people are going to start planning to do what is needed for us. And if you won't do right, I'm going to make sure every last one of you come up off of it.
Sir, I just want to address the issue of the vacancy, the board vacancy that you raised a question about. The Board of Education advertised the vacancy probably, I'm guessing, 45 days ago. It was advertised at a Board of Education meeting, a public meeting. We directed the business administrator to advertise the meeting, which she did. It was advertised, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, both in the newspaper. It's been up on the website for some time. Anybody who was qualified could certainly submit an application to serve on the Board of Education. So just so you know, it was no secret. It was well advertised and it was made publicly available. I just wanted to address that. Okay. Next person would be William Sorrentino. Mr. Sorrentino here.
Good evening, Board of Education. I am one of the 140 RIF teachers, and it occurred to me that even though I've been employed by you for almost 5 years, you don't know me or anything about me or what I do. So I want to take a moment, now that my career in Lakewood here is coming to an apparent end, to introduce myself. My name is William Sorrentino, and I am the librarian at the Spruce Street School. Being a school librarian, thank you. Being a school librarian is kind of Thank you. Being the school librarian is kind of a family business. You see, my father was the school librarian at Oak Street until the mid-90s. Before that, he was the media specialist right here at the high school. Both my parents were teachers here in the 70s, where they met and fell in love. I was born and raised right here in Lakewood. So when I had the opportunity to teach in the elementary school that I attended, it felt like I was giving back to the place that created me. Now, every teacher who's here has a story of why they are passionate about education and why we do what we do for the children of this town. But it becomes especially heartbreaking to be forced to look elsewhere for employment when our hearts are right here in this town. At one of the recent meetings, it was brought up that you're experiencing a talent drain because of recent events. All the talented professionals are being forced out. Personally, I have been blessed with over 6 interviews in other districts. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. My heart's right here in this town where I was born and raised. Now, I'm not going to waste your time with the facts and statistics about the importance of a reading foundation, because as board members, I assume you are familiar with those facts and statistics. I will, however, ask you to consider this thought. It seems as though you cannot afford to have a library, but can the students of this town not afford to have a library? Thank you for your time.
Pastor Wilson.
Good evening. As you can see that the mood in the community is not good. And I believe we have an opportunity tonight to restore order, not only to our community, but to our meetings. The general feeling in our community is that we really do not trust this board. And like I said the last time I spoke, we were on track to a very good working relationship. But it is so hard to respect a board when the people that make the decision are not in this room. You guys don't answer to us. You guys answer to people who are not in this room tonight. In fact, some of the major decisions that you are going to make for our kids, you don't have the power to do it. So how do we trust a board that does not have power? You guys operate, and I hate to use the word, and it might be disrespectful, but you operate like puppets. So, somebody above you pulls a string, and I wish they would come and be in this room to see the abuse that you have to go through. None of you are getting paid for this job. You're all volunteers. I don't think it's fair that you should take the abuse that you take. I really do believe that some of y'all up there care for our kids, for all the kids. I really believe that. But with the knowledge I have, that you do not have the power to do certain things as you feel is right, and you have to listen to these guys who I say operate in the dark, and they give you orders of things that you need to do that sometimes you don't feel like doing because you don't think it's right. And then you come to this meeting and you take the abuse from the community, which sometimes is misinformed. Let me say that. A lot of the abuse that you take is misinformed at times. But it is the perception that we have in the community. We have an opportunity to turn this thing around. I know none of you up there have the money or the power to come up with that 1.6. I know that. Most of them think that you have the money in your pocket and you're holding on to it.
That's Wilson, that's 3 minutes.
Right. So what I want to say to you tonight is that we have an opportunity, but in order for us to trust you as a board, you're going to have to start making decisions as you feel it in your heart. And stop listening to people that don't even come to this meeting.
Thank you. Okay, Clark. I'm sorry?
I said what I had to say earlier.
Okay, thank you. Elizabeth Matecki.
I'm waiving my comments tonight.
Okay, thank you. Fred Rush.
Good evening. Good evening. There's a couple things I need to know, and you started to answer them. It was about we don't have a budget in place. So tell me as much as you can, Mr. President and Mr. Shafton, what if there are no solutions? What if we don't come up with the money? What are we really facing? I mean, what does that $1.6 million do to these young men that came here, that played football, the other sports, the library? What does that mean? You know, we started this and we had 140 names on there. Where are we now? What about our projects and programs that we have in our school? What's going to happen to it, as much as you know? Could you answer that, please?
Answer your questions once you're finished.
Well, I think I'll stop there because I don't have much of that.
Is that your last question?
What's going to happen from what you know right now? You know, I don't want to debate, I just want you to answer as best you can, because the other thing that people want are answers. We come here every meeting and we go through the same rituals. We shouldn't have to do that. And I know that you guys look for solutions, but you gotta find them. You know, you gotta put your minds together. I don't care where the money comes from. But we can't lose football. We can't lose some of the things that we hold an interest in. What kind of district would we be? The traditions that we have in Lakewood, the basketball team, the football team, the soccer, the baseball, just all of those things that keep our kids interested in education. And they are. So please, let me know what you can. Thank you.
I'm sorry to say, but there is no answer at the moment. There's second questions that may or may not take place in November on the ballot. And if they are on the ballot, that doesn't necessarily mean they would pass. So the only hope that Lakewood has right now is that the state legislature, the Department of Education, local government can somehow come to a consensus on what can be done to if not save the full 1.6 worth of cuts, at least some of the cuts. That's the only answer I have right now, and I talk about it with them at least every other day on what we're going to do, and I get no answers at the moment because there is no answer. Last speaker, Michael Zilbuck.
Good evening. I sit here and I say to myself, I don't know if this Mr. Sorrentino is Frank Sorrentino's, but I had a teacher, Mr. Sorrentino. Thomas, okay. But the fact is, I don't understand. You see, people come up here, scream and talk about the people make decisions or somewhere else. You're here, I know that. You are here, right? Yeah. But the fact is, if the state approved $8.5 million, if that's the number, I don't know the exact number, but that would restore teachers as of tonight. So I'm not sure why, if the state has approved 8.5 or whatever, just another million or so, just another loan to be paid. But why are the teachers not being restored tonight? Unless there are strings attached to that 8.5 million. But from what I read, which most of the time what I read I don't believe, because it's tainted, it's who screams the loudest, it's who the press wants to make sure that there's a divide in this town, they do that well. But why are teachers not being restored tonight if you have the 8.5 million? I don't know if I'll get an answer, but that should be asked. I want to ask a question too. Who is the superintendent here as of July 1st? I don't know. This Winters, some other guy from Trenton, some other guy from Piscataway or Parsippany. But who is going to lead this ship as of July 1st? Don't worry, it's not going to be me. God bless. The next thing, well, those are the two questions tonight because I don't get it. Oh, the football team. They are supposed to be practicing as of June 19th or 14th, I was told. Are they allowed to practice? I would assume a lawyer would agree, but I don't need the lawyer. I need the superintendent or the monitor. The insurance continues till June 30th. The medicals are covered by your current contract, so are they allowed to practice? I know board members have never, many of them, have never gone to a Thanksgiving football game. It's real fun. But the fact is that this year, from what I've learned, 7 students are getting full scholarships or partial scholarships because of their participation in football. Ms. Winters, question to you. You are the superintendent until June 30th? The question to you, and hopefully longer, I say that publicly. The question to you is there a thorough and efficient education without extracurricular sports, without librarians, without guidance counselors? I await your answers now. I can't hear you.
In my opinion, no.
No to what?
That there is not a government education without librarian, guidance counselors, and sports.
Okay, good. Who answers the other?
I'll answer the question about the superintendent. The Board of Education later on in this meeting. Well, he was given his 3 minutes and now we're answering his questions. He was given his 3 minutes, we're answering the questions. Oh, okay. As to your second question, the Board of Education later in this meeting will be adopting a resolution to have a special meeting next week to appoint, presumably appoint an interim superintendent of schools. We'll do some interviews in closed session, come out and publicly vote. So that will happen later on in this meeting. We will have somebody in place by July 1st.
What about the 8.5?
I'm going to defer to Mr. Shafter on the 8.5 million question.
Right. As far as the teachers, at that special meeting, I'm going to be talking to the state again to see if we can rehire the staff that's covered by the $8.5 million at the special meeting next week.
What's the date? You should have been done that. Why would you have done it at the special meeting? Yeah.
The special meeting it still has to be voted on, but it looks like it's going to be this Tuesday, 6:30 to 7:30 closed session, 7:30 public meeting. No, sorry, next Tuesday.
What about the football question?
Practicing, the answer is obviously the insurance is in place through June 30th. As to logistics and whether they're going to practice or not, I would turn that over to Ms. Winters. No, we're still in the middle of responding to his question, sir.
Is there anyone else speaking to him? We could grant them to speak. We usually grant people to speak. I think we always make an exception for people to speak. I don't see anything wrong with doing the same thing. Just to be consistent with our previous what we did.
To be consistent, if we're not allowed to one, we have to allow everybody.
My name is Shlomo Klein. I came into the building, I was looking for some water, drinking water. I went to the fountain, and there was no water coming out. I pressed the right button, I pressed the left button, I pressed the middle button. No water was coming out. So my question to this board is, why do Lakewood Public High School students not entitled to drinking water?
Mrs. Winters. Mrs. Winters, can you answer this?
That one. Yes.
Did you try any of it? That ends public participation. We're going to move on with the rest of the business of the Board of Education. Ms. Robinson, back to you.
Motion to approve the corrections for tonight, June 19th, but I have a read-in also. It's on page 28, item number 42, change the TBD to Tammy Winnick. So motion to accept the corrections for June 19th.
Second.
I'm going to do roll call. Moshi Bender.
Yes.
Thea Jackson.
Yes.
Moshi Newhouse.
Yes.
Moshi Raisin.
Yes.
Gilberto Rodriguez. Isaac Slacken.
Yes.
Ada Gonzalez. Barry Iron.
Yes.
Betsy Tracer.
You can abstain on all motions this evening.
Okay. Motion to accept the additions for tonight, June 19th.
Need a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Gonna do roll call. Moshi Bender.
Yes.
Thea Jackson.
Yes.
Moshi Newhouse.
Yes.
Moshi Raisin.
Yes.
Gilberto Rodriguez. Isaac Slacken.
Yes.
Ada Gonzalez. Barry Iron.
Yes.
Motion to accept the business agenda items for tonight. Motion.
I make a motion, Mr. Zonkin.
Second?
Yeah, I'll make a motion, yeah.
Second?
I'll second it.
I'm gonna do roll call. Moshi Bender?
Yes.
Thea Jackson?
Yes.
Moshi Newhouse?
Yes.
Moshi Raitsick?
No.
Roberto Rodriguez? Isaac Slacker?
Yes.
Ada Gonzalez?
Yes.
Barry Guyan?
Yes.
Motion to accept the superintendent agenda items?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
Roll call. Moshi Bender?
Yes.
Thea Jackson?
Yes.
Moshi Newhouse?
Yes.
Moshi Raitsick?
No.
Roberto Rodriguez? Isaac Slacker?
Yes.
Ada Gonzalez?
Yes.
Barry Guyan?
Yes.
I would like to make a motion to cancel the RFP for the 193 services.
Can you speak up?
I would like to make a motion to cancel RFP for 193 services.
For 193 evaluation services, do you mean?
Yes.
Motion to cancel? Can I get a motion?
Needs a second.
Second. Any discussion?
I'd like to have some discussion before you vote on it. If you cancel that RFP, the non-public children will not receive services effective July 1. And that will be very detrimental to the district, the district of lawsuits.
I think we should extend it. I think Mr. Bender should amend his motion to include that we will extend the current contract with whoever that is for another month.
So we did have an option under the contract to extend it for a year. We could extend it for an additional 30 days, which is what you're suggesting, Mr. Zlotkin?
I am suggesting to extend it for a year, or another year.
Well, you would have to make a motion to amend his,
I'm giving, this is Mr. Bender's motion, I'm letting him.
Okay, so based on what the Mr. Schaffner had to say, I would like to make a motion to cancel the current RFP for 193 services and extend it for 1 month to make sure that the public
He
school
said,
students.
Mark said he could do it for a year.
Yeah, okay, so I'd like to extend it for a year.
all right, so let me read back that motion just so we're all on the same page, and it's gonna require another second. So this is a motion to cancel the Chapter 193 Evaluation and Determination RFP, and further resolve that the Board of Education extends a contract to On Track for an additional year per the terms of their contract from the 16-17 school year. Is that correct, Mr. Bender?
Yes.
Need a second.
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Any discussion?
I'm gonna do roll call. Are we just?
Yeah, roll call.
Moshi Bender?
Yes.
Thea Jackson?
No.
Moshi Newhouse?
Yes.
Moshi Raitsick?
Yes.
Roberto Rodriguez?
No.
Isaac Slacker?
Yes.
Ada Gonzalez?
No.
Barry Guyan?
Yes.
Can you read that? What was the number on the vote, please?
Moshi Bender, yes. Thea Jackson, no.
No, I just needed the number.
The number.
The 5-3? Motion carried.